Said we're 2 minutes past the hour. We'll get started. Thank you very much for your time. The topic, as I alluded to, is how to sell Myzone, how to sell a Myzone belt to a new member at the point of sale. So really the audience is the sales team. And we all know that the sales team are very focused on their one job, and that is to sell a gym membership. And so what we need to do, if we want to incorporate Myzone into the journey, we need to give them the tools to do that, and that's what we plan to do today. Okay, so the agenda really breaks down into 3 simple sections. First of all, it's about framing the prospect, planting the seed so that it's not just a last-minute upsell whilst you're closing the membership. That will be the first section. The second section is converting the value of Myzone from a feature to a benefit on the tour itself. And the third aspect will be closing with an incentive. So let's move to the first section, framing the prospect. Okay, so Mrs. Jones walks into your club. And the thing about this moment is that you have balance of power. You see, she's got a problem and she's coming to you to see if you can solve that problem. So it's most important to leverage that at that point in time. You know, you lose the balance of power as soon as you write the memberships down on a piece of paper and slide it across the table and ask her to choose which membership suits her best. That's when you lose the balance of power. So leverage it when you've got it. That's the first thing. The second thing is the way you do that is by putting a focus on sustained routine and making that the cornerstone of a successful exercise program. You know, it's less about the equipment, less about the programming. It's all about your routine, Mrs. Jones. So the way you would communicate that to her before you go on the tour, that is, and after going through the needs analysis, is Mrs. Jones, I totally get why you've walked in today. You want to lose 20 pounds. You've got your daughter's wedding coming up in 6 months from now, and you want to wear your favorite dress. And you know that the photographers will be out that day, and you know that the photos will be up on the wall for eternity, and that's why you're here today. Totally get it. But Mrs. Jones, the important thing today is not about joining a gym. It's about joining a gym that you are going to use. If you put in the effort, then you'll earn the result. And if you don't put in the effort, you won't. You see, by going down that path at this point, you're leveraging your position as coach. A lot of junior salespeople will almost be scared to be honest with the member. They are very quick to say it's easy, and they throw sugar on top, and yeah, just visit twice a week and you're good to go. And that's not the reality. The reality is that you need to visit more than twice a week, and you need to wake up early when that alarm goes off. And you do need to consider your nutrition. Whilst you've got the balance of power, use it and position yourself as the expert. Now, as you explain this to Mrs. Jones, you can then move on and say, hey, and look, we've got the technology to help. It's called Myzone, and it uses effort tracking to make you feel good about exercise, which increases your likelihood of maintaining your routine. So this is step 1. You're framing her up, and you haven't yet gone on the tour, but you've been honest with her. You've been frank. She's been asking you for help, and you're about to deliver the solution. So let's move to step 2. Okay, step 2 is converting Myzone from a feature to value. And the sales team will be very familiar with this. This is what they do in their role playing. They walk around the gym, and let's hope most of them don't do the old museum tour where they're just pointing out that there's cardio and there's group X and there's the pin loaded over there. Rather, they're turning those features into value based on what the prospect had told them during the needs analysis stage. So the easiest way to do that is to use the following 4 subsections: feature, function, benefit, value. All right, so this is Myzone. That's the feature, right? Just like this is cardio. This is Myzone. Typically, clubs will do this when they walk past the Myzone TV bolted to the wall, or it may be when they walk past the Myzone corner in their lobby where they've got all the information up of what Myzone is and statistics around it and success cases of people using Myzone and achieving their goals, whichever place is convenient given your tour. So you pointed out, Mrs. Jones, this is Myzone. The function, what does Myzone do? This is the function. This is Myzone. It tracks the effort you put into exercise. You see, it's not about heart rate. It's not about calories. It's about effort. That's what you want to communicate to the sales team. Mrs. Jones, this is Myzone. It tracks the effort you put into exercise, giving you feedback in the form of progress to goal, leaderboards, status ranking, and it amplifies that feeling of that feedback with social support. Okay, so you've pointed out Myzone, you show what it does, now you convert it to a benefit. It makes you feel good about exercise and increases your likelihood of sticking to the routine. Remember that you framed her up only 20 minutes ago during the needs analysis, and she knows that it's more. There's more to this than equipment and programming. It's also my behavior, or my behavior change. In fact, from there you go on to a YFM statement. What's in it for me? All right. So you convert it with what that means for you is that you'll look great come the wedding day, which was the problem that she walked into the club with earlier on. So let's go through that again. This is Myzone. It tracks the effort you put into exercise, giving you feedback in the form of progress to goal, leaderboards, status ranking, and it amplifies the feeling of that feedback with social support. It makes you feel good about exercise and it increases your likelihood of sticking to the routine. What that means for you, Mrs. Jones, is that you'll look great on the wedding day. All right, now let's move on to step 3. Step 3 is the closing. Now you can go about this in 2 ways. One, you can bake Myzone into a premium membership, and a lot of our customers do that. So it might be that you have a 2 membership close or a 3 membership close, whatever works for you. And the higher membership comes with a Myzone belt. It's a value add. If you're not doing that, this would be the play. You would sell a membership, you would have them choose which one suits them best, and then after you've sold the membership, and it's important that you do this after that, because salespeople with their commission and whatnot, they are focused on getting the membership, understand that. But after that, this is where you position and you say, Mrs. Jones, you know how I said that today wasn't about buying a gym membership, right? And she just did that. She literally filled in the form. It's not about buying a membership. It's about buying a gym membership that you're going to use. And you can see that we leverage Myzone to help you with that. We went through that on the tour. So here's the offer for the month of May, but of course you could do this every single month. If you buy a Myzone belt today and earn 1,300 MEPs in your first month, then we will reward you with fill in the blank. So what you're doing is you're giving Mrs. Jones an incentive. If I do this, I could gain something. A lot of clubs will turn around and say, we will reward you with your money back in the form of club cash. Or it might be, we'll give you your money back in the form of small group training or personal training, whatever it is they're trying to promote. So they use it as a little bit of an upsell tool, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But Mrs. Jones, here you go. If you buy the belt, if you jump the hurdle, then we'll reward you. Why is that a benefit to the operator? Well, it's a benefit to the operator because we know that retention is made or broken in that first 30 days, that first 60 days, that first 90 days. You've got to get them to hit, not miss. And this is a great way of playing a video game with them, essentially, to get them to use the membership and create a routine. So that's why that's important. But then what you do is you change gear and you also take the risk out of the purchase. You say, if you don't like the belt after 30 days, please return it for a full refund. Now, when you do that, you get the red strap that's been used and you ship that back to Myzone, and we ship you a clean, fresh, new red strap, meaning that you can get an alcohol wipe and wipe down the black module and you can restock it in inventory. So from a consumer perspective, there is an incentive to buy a Myzone belt. If I do this, then I could gain, and there's no risk. There's a money back guarantee, so there's no resistance. Why would I not do this? From an operator's perspective, there's also no risk. Why would you not do that? Because Myzone has got your back. And we know this because we've been running it for a number of years now, and we know that the return rate is extremely low. So it's a very safe bet for us as well. Okay, so guys, that's the way you sell a Myzone belt at the point of sale. What I encourage you to do is to get this link and share it with your sales team. And the best way to launch it is to introduce it to them and say, guys, in the next 30 days, we're going to have a game with this ourselves. We're going to see who can sell the most Myzone belts. We're giving you all the tools. We're giving you the role play. We're giving you the money back guarantee. We're giving you the incentive. Let's play a game with it and have a reward, because of course games work. The final point that I'll leave you on, I alluded to it a few minutes ago, is that using the belt to upsell what you're looking to promote. The thing about Mrs. Jones is that she's come in, she wants to lose 20 pounds. She's decided to buy the belt. You've now set up a game for her to play, so she onboards well. But she said no to small group training on day one, or personal training. At this point, when you reward her the $100, for example, of small group training, now she goes into month number 2 and she starts participating in small group because she earned it. And now she's earning 160 MEPs per workout, for example, and she's comparing those workouts to the workouts by herself when she was only earning 110 MEPs per workout. And now that's validated. Now she can see why she needs to pay extra money to participate in small group training, because it's harder work. I can't do it by myself. I need a coach. I need the equipment. I need the community support. And not only that, when I leave the small group program or the large group program, I've got coach coming through to me on the smartphone app and giving me a pat on the back and saying, hey, Mrs. Jones, I saw you on the bear crawls this morning. You crushed it. And then he's asking me when I'm going to come back in again. And so it integrates into the journey and builds value. So I'll close by saying that Myzone, it's much more than just shiny numbers up on a TV screen to tap into heart rate technology or wearable technology. It should be a strategic activity that you weave through the sales process, that you weave through the onboarding process, and that you use to help you achieve your strategic objectives. So guys, as I said, these are only 15 minutes long, these Power Play Fridays. We'll save this, we'll get it up into the cloud. If you would like to know what other topics we've got coming up in the coming month, we will have that on our landing page, which is up at the moment. If you just go to Google and put in Myzone and Power Play Friday, it's the top hit, and you'll be able to find it that way. So thank you very much. Let's have a look and see if we have any questions, Emily.
Yeah, so real quick, guys, if you have any questions, there should be a Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen that you can then click on and go ahead and type something in. And then as far as content for these Power Play Fridays go, we love to know what you want to learn more about, right? This is our way to speak directly to you with the most relevant content to help you make Myzone successful. So you can email powerplay@myzone.org if you have any questions or suggestions for topics. What are your pain points? What are your sticking points that we can help you with? And certainly, reach out to us anytime. Cool. It looks like we don't have any questions, so we will post this on our Facebook page.
Yep.
And also on our YouTube channel, so you can send it out to your staff. And with that.
And if you're not part of the Facebook group, because you have to be part of that operator group, if you're not, just go and knock on the door and we'll invite you in.
Yes, absolutely. So send your request to join,
yes.
to join the group.
Knock on the door. Yeah.
Yes. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.